everybody? It's time for another Talking with Topher. That's right, this is episode 291. It's October 30th, 2025, and I am always so surprised to be alive. Here we are, everybody, and let's get into it as fast as possible, shall we? I always want to start off by saying thank you, especially to all the new subscribers, being over 5,000 now. Amazing. Keep it going. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you're new, stopping by, checking it out, hit that subscribe button. If you want an opportunity to be a guest, tell your story, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com, and send an audio, video, or type it out. Linktree is in the link below the description, right? Below the video in the description. Go there, check out everything TwT. Don't forget to check out the Mailbox Guys and Cryptid and Kin. Go check out some new podcasts and order your mailbox today. Now, with all the housekeeping out of the way, let's get into today's episode. All right, what's happening, everybody? There's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and we're going to dive into it because it's Columbus Day. Well, I've got a video for all of you. I know this is coming out in a couple weeks, but I think this is wild to start off with. Everything being changed. It's now Indigenous People Day, blah, blah, blah. Basically, it's Columbus Day. And until all the people that remember it as Columbus Day, die, pass away, perish, diminish, then they can slowly change it over to this PC world, which I just think is so lame and weak, because now they want to take down some statue that's offending people. Listen, if you keep wiping out our history, you keep destroying where we came from, no one's ever going to know the true history behind what it is. And yeah, I know it's grotesque, it's sad, and it's disturbing, but you can't change it by getting rid of statues and changing names of holidays. It's never going away. We can't scrub what we did. But let's find out more about Columbus Day.
In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, and that's because he was handed a map by the Jewish people that had just been kicked out of Spain, and they got that map from their Phoenician ancestors. And that's next on the trumpet. The expulsion of the Jews from Spain, 1492. In 1492, the Jewish people had to go find a new world. They had a map that had been passed down for thousands of years from their Phoenician ancestors, the most fearless sailors in the world. The Jewish people that employed Christopher Columbus and gave him all of those maps to the New World, well, they used to be the Phoenicians. Let's take the map of time to 1100 BC before King David fought Goliath. I'm going to zoom into that part right there that says Phoenicia. In 1095 BC, the Phoenicians magically transitioned into the Jewish monarchy right there. The Phoenicians had already sailed all over the world and had mapped it out and knew all the navigational aids to get to the New World. Because there's plenty of signs around here that said they did that already. 2,500 years before Columbus sailed across the ocean, this is the Phoenicians and the Jewish people that hired him. This would have been the currency that they were trading on that dock I just showed you, and this is the head of Baal on the Tyrian coin. And the rich seaport of the Phoenicians, well, that was the city of Tyre. The round harbors on the island of Tyre where the Phoenician fleet docked, that's what some people say was the island of Atlantis. In an attempt to overtake the island, Alexander the Great put wooden pylons down until a sandbar was created and he could walk his army over and overtake the island. It turned it into a peninsula and all of the land built up around it, and I believe that's what happened to the island of Atlantis. This head on the Tyrian coin, that's Baal, and that's quite simply the devil. Book of Ezekiel talking about the king of Tyre right here. The word of the Lord came to the king of Tyre, and he had said, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am God. I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas. Yet thou art a man, and not God. Same chapter. Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyre. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God, in the midst of the seas. That is in the midst of the sea. Somewhere right in here, they removed the book of Enoch and the book of Jubilees, so you wouldn't have to put up with reading the truth. Yeah. Click on my bio page right there, and then click on that link tree right there. And that's going to take you to all of my links. And you
Follow him, man. Follow him. It is where is it?
You can click on the Book of Jubilees and download a free copy of that. Or you can click on the Book of Enoch and download a copy of that. If you click on my Amazon page right there, it'll take you to the map of time right there. The people that removed those books from the Bible, well, they're direct descendants from the people that built the Tower of Babel. And the Book of Revelation says the synagogue of Satan. The Book of Enoch and the Book of Jubilees were found in the Dead Sea Scrolls after being sealed away for thousands of years. And he said, "Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end." Like and follow the trumpet for more. And in Jesus' name, have a blessed day.
That is absolutely wild. So, again, oh man, this is wild, huh? The Phoenicians turned into the Jewish monarchy after they failed. I'm kind of getting a hint here of Jews being a giant issue for everybody and basically disbarred from everywhere or exiled. It's wild to find out. And whether this history is true or false, or if you believe it or not, if there's any truth to anything that I've been playing on this podcast for the last couple months, is that the same thing keeps coming up. The Jews come in, they take over, they implement things, and then everybody stands up against them and pushes them out or off their land. Why does this keep happening throughout history over and over and over again? Right? Now I'm starting to really wonder why, the capital of Jerusalem is Israel and why that was recently done. What if doing that has actually done the opposite of what the entire world seems to have tried to do, is knock these guys out of power and to stop their reign on the world. And it seems like they've been trying to do this forever, right? It's just wild to keep coming to this conclusion after everything that I have looked at, read, been shown. It always seems to be the same ending to the story. And nobody wanted the Jews on their land. It's crazy to me. I just didn't know that this was something that went as deep as it did. And man, I am really, really surprised. I wanted to add in a few things because that was the Columbus Day thing. Did anybody hear of this new cement that came out? It's called Farewell to It's not called Farewell to Traditional Cement. Scientists create world's first living cement capable of generating energy and changing the history of construction. Now, I'm hoping that there's a little bit more information here. So, clean energy in every wall. Imagine that every building in your city was generating clean energy, valid for absolutely everything. Powering houses, shops, industries. It could turn an entire infrastructures into electricity generators. Imagine a bridge or a tunnel capable of supplying part of its consumption thanks to the very materials in which it is built. It is something completely incredible and could be the future. They don't really have any keeping it alive. Of course, not everything is easy because of the bacteria, like any form of lice, also needs food. But they also thought of that. That is why they designed a microfluidic system that provides them with proteins, vitamins, and minerals and salts as if they were in a fish tank. With the mechanism, the microorganisms remain active, and if they die, they can even be retrieved and recovered their energy capacity. So we would be talking about a never-ending cycle. This is so interesting. So how is it created? The secret lies in the bacteria. Sorry about that, everybody. I want to show you the cement. It doesn't look any different than normal cement, right? But the secret lies in the bacteria called Swanella monogenesis, because this bacteria has the ability to extract electrons from its own cell. And the scientists took advantage of the quality to plug it in to the cement. Thus, the material is not only resistant like any other, but it also works as a system capable of generating electricity. The difference with traditional cement, as you can imagine, it's ensemble because it's one can regenerate up to 80% of its initial capacity, which makes it much more durable and useful. To test it, the researchers connected 6 blocks and managed to light up an LED lamp. It seems little, but think that it is something that has never been done before. It's an innovation, scientists, and technology. This is wild, everybody. They have, well, they're calling it a living cement, but it seems like they're calling it a living cement because of the bacteria in it and the fact that it can generate electricity. That is something wild to think about. There we go. That the cement that we will be making foundations in the future out of will be something living and be able to generate electricity, because all living things can generate electricity. So therefore, that makes a lot of sense. But didn't we already have this technology? Isn't there buildings right now in China that sway in the wind and generate electricity from the motion that they make? Didn't we have something like this before the great floods? What was the energy that Tartaria was using? Because I don't think this energy is going to be free, right? It's going to cost a ton of money to put this foundation in. But I thought it was really interesting because I was like, living cement? I mean, I deal with cement on a regular basis. It's one of my least favorite things to do. But if you had something that was better and it could withstand more and do more and also generate electricity, it's a pretty cool invention, isn't it? I mean, like I said, the future is scary, exciting, and something to be a part of today, you know? It's crazy. Now, let's take a look at Tyler's letter, okay? His text chain, to be precise. I said a couple weeks ago that he's definitely not our guy, and this video proved it a little bit deeper. Check this out.
Bet you didn't see this. Hey, man. So you know a whole lot more about AI than I do?
Yeah, facts. What's up?
You saw the ridiculous text chain, right?
Oh, you mean between Robinson and my love? Yeah, I did, unfortunately.
Do you think you could plug that into AI generator and see what it spits out?
Oh yeah, I'm on it. Oh, you are not gonna believe this. 100% AI, Ian. 100, not 90%, not even 50%. 100% for sure that is AI.
Well, imagine that. Do me a favor, send it over to me real quick.
It's on its way.
So
Now watch this.
That's all real. That actually happened. My buddy Kyle here actually looked it up, put it through an AI detector, and sure enough, 100% AI. You know what else is real though? Just got done with my podcast. It's been now, I don't know, a few hours. And in the few hours from the time that he put it into that detector until now it's saying something a little different. Check this out. If I said that it seems like they probably realized that's what was going on and they got to it and changed it, that would just make me a conspiracy theorist, right, guys?
Dude, I'm telling you, man, the people that still believe conspiracy theories are wrong and this and that, man, where are you? What are you doing? What are you doing? Because I don't even understand anymore. These are not conspiracies. These are actual facts, and this shit is happening all the time. You should see the stuff I can make with AI. It's incredible what we can do today. It's actually disturbing. I took a still photo of my wife and made it dance. It's wild, and it looks real. It's crazy. But when we put stuff into AI and then all of a sudden it's changing because of the simple fact that they're realizing and they have control over the AI. They can program it to say whatever they want. That's what scares me the most. This AI is not a god. It is a computer program that they have complete control over. And they, being the people who invented it, made it, and is storing the memory for it. So you take any AI and you take the people that are designing that AI, and if they don't want it to say something, it won't. This is not going to be a god. This is going to be trouble. And the people that have the developing and the programming controls at their fingertips are the ones that are going to change and manipulate the information that it gives. So therefore, I believe we are going to see more people hurt themselves. We are going to see more people dependent on this, and we are going to see more and more issues coming from this, where we're finding true information and then they change it so that it looks false. This happens all the time. It used to happen in big media, but this is now big media. And as long as they are the ones programming it, they have all the control, they're feeding it the information, they will be able to turn on and off what is given to us. Again, treating us all like little kids because we can't handle the truth. You guys do understand the more you hide from us, the more we want to actually know the truth. And the truth is not going to hurt us. It's going to hurt you. That's why we're not allowed to find out the truth. That's why you label us conspiracy theorists. Because it makes you seem like you're the one that has everything figured out. And it's not true. You're the one manipulating everybody into thinking that you have it all figured out for us, and you don't. You just want to hide everything from us so that we're what? Uninformed and easier to control? Sounds familiar. So let's talk about what's going on here. This is just more on the stuff that has been literally told to us forever. And unfortunately for me, I have a lot of questions, and I'm not going to stop digging. So check this out.
Before Hitler rose to power, Berlin was a breeding ground for radical sex experiments. In 1919, Magnus Hirschfeld, a gay Jewish doctor, opened the world's first gender clinic. He was the first to do exchange operations, he mutilated the genitalia of his mentally ill patients and collected their penises and vaginas in jars. Hirschfeld teamed up with Germany's most successful rabbis and they created the World League of Sexual Reform. They promoted homosexuality and prostitution to children through thousands of books. Hitler and the National Socialists referred to this institution as the center of sexual perversion and a threat to the morality of Germany. In 1933, they raided the place, they torched the books, and they shut everything down.
So as you can see, we all heard about the burning of the books. We all heard about the slaughtering. We all heard about the murder and the evil, horrendous things that happened. But we've never been told that the books that they were burning were to stop sex transitions or to stop these transgender things from happening. They saw all of this as a problem. They saw it as a way to destroy society and to make their people weaker and easier to invade. And this is not the story we were told. Those books were to hide information that was good information. It was knowledge. It was history. It was evidence of the things that they were doing to these people, is what I was always told, or what I've always thought they were. And then now you're finding out that it's all the stuff that, well, I don't really agree with today. I don't agree with teaching kids anything. Politics, sex changes, all they need to know is what's the anatomy of a male and a female. And that's all you need to teach them in school. They should know that. I think it was 6th grade. They should know cursive, and they should know how to do basic math, and they should know how to balance a checkbook and maybe control their bank account. All stuff not taught to me. But this is what they need to be learning in school. And if we're not teaching them that in school, what are we teaching them in school? Now, I'm going to show you something that's quite horrifying, actually, because they took it down. No, they took it down? Dude, I'm so sick of these people trying to take stuff down. I just showed this to somebody yesterday. Yep, they took it down. Okay, so I can't play the video, but this lady actually said that you have no control over your kids. We have control over your kids, and we will teach your kids what needs to be taught to them. And if you disagree, then the DFC or whatever they are, the DSS or whatever, they will take away your rights as parents because you are stopping the school system from teaching them horrendous things. It was so disturbing, and it definitely was a message that would absolutely say, hey, get them out of the public school system and homeschool these kids immediately, because the public school system is not going to teach them anything. They're going to teach them the stuff that, I'm sorry to say, that it looks like Hitler was trying to stop. Because he knew it was going to destroy them. Crazy, crazy stuff. I can't believe they took it down. Unbelievable, everybody. But check this out, too. Because of this, I found very interesting as well. And I'm not saying this is 100% true, but I do have a lot of questions. So the Poles now admit that the building, the Auschwitz gas chambers, were built in 1948, 3 years after the war was over. Now, like I said, I don't know if this is true, but I'm starting to lean on the facts that, man, this stuff has never been talked about like this. Never. And if it has, I obviously missed it.
If I was to go to Auschwitz with the BBC television team, and this isn't just somebody with an 8mm high-8 camera, this is the BBC. They're going to be marketing their film to television corporations around the world. I'm going to be standing there in their so-called gas chamber at Auschwitz 1, and I'm going to be pointing out, oh, no holes in the roof. So that rather makes a mockery of your eyewitnesses who said that they saw the SS men clambering up on the top and dropping the pellets through the holes in the roof. Oh, look at that door over there. It's got a glass pane in it. A pane of glass in a gas chamber in a door. And there's a 2-inch gap under the wooden door. It's a drafty gas chamber, this one. Right? I'd be asking questions like that. And they know they can't stand that. And so this is the reason that I'm banned from the Auschwitz site. Because I'll be asking the questions about the heaps of coke which don't exist. What happened to the bodies? I'll be asking questions like that. I'll be saying, Tom Bauer, the famous British historian and journalist who wrote that recent book about the Swiss gold, Tom Bauer, he described how in May 1944, 450,000 Hungarian Jews were shipped off to Auschwitz. Within the space of 3 weeks, they've been cremated and gassed. 450,000 people, as I wrote in a letter to the Sunday Times, of course, 450,000 people is just an awful lot of meat. It's 45,000 tons of meat, if you're going to be tasteless about it. So what did they do with this mountain of meat after they'd gassed it? Either they cremated it, they burned it, or they buried it. They ploughed it under. And you've got to be tasteless. You've got to ask these questions. If you're going to get rid of 450,000 bodies, you've got a mountain of flesh of 45,000 cubic meters to dispose of. If you're going to bury it, you've got to have a pit of 45,000 cubic meters, which is the size of several football fields, which will be visible from the air. And we have the aerial photographs taken of Auschwitz in precisely those weeks, and there's no such pits visible. Or you're going to cremate them, and it's going to take 60 kilograms of coke on average to cremate everybody in the gas chambers in the crematory that was supplied to Auschwitz. We know that because we have the actual operating instructions of these crematoria and their efficiency charts and all the details that came from the manufacturers. So we know how many tons of coke are going to be needed. Tens of thousands of tons of coking coal, and there's no sign of that on the aerial photographs either. But nobody asks these questions because if they do, of course, it's off with his head, put him in prison.
Yeah.
And if I go to that building with the BBC television cameras, I'm going to be pointing out about the inside of the doors. I'll say, what a funny thing. That gas chamber door's got a handle on the inside. Now, I was in Pentonville prison for contempt of court 3 or 4 years ago, and I can't remember having had a handle on the inside of my cell door. Yet we're being told that 800 people packed into that room, according to the eyewitnesses, were so stupid that it never occurred to them to open the door with a handle that the Nazis had very kindly provided on the inside. And everybody's believed it for the last 50 years, and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, nay, millions of school children have been bussed across Europe to that site and told to go in that building and shudder, because that's where millions of Jews were killed by the Nazis during World War II. And only now is the truth beginning to come out that nobody was gassed in that building, because that building was built by the Poles, as they now admit, in 1948, 3 years after World War II was over.
Like I said, everybody, if that is true, it's just wild. But I'm going to bring you into something else. And this actually comes from a Holocaust survivor. And I mean, I'm sorry, but if the people that were survivors are collaborating or also agreeing with what you're saying about the gas chambers, well, that kind of leaves me in limbo, everybody. Because it's one thing to hear all the people say that these things are bad or never existed and this and that, but it's another thing to hear it from an actual survivor. Listen to this, dude. It is wild.
In Schindler's List is waiting for the gas to come in.
And all it
lo and
is
behold, all it was
salt and water came raining down on us in this great big, we called it banya, which is a Russian word for a washroom. Bathroom, yeah, but it was a big one, a communal.
Now, keep in mind, I was told that this is what the Jews were told, is that they were going into a bathhouse and then they gassed them.
bathroom. It was huge, I would say. It was, the way I remember it, of course I was little, but the way I remember it, I would say it was at least 30 by 30. It must have been built for that purpose, to wash us down like dogs. Yeah.
But most people, of course, don't know is that the Germans had drawn a line from the Baltic, or actually from the North Cape virtually all the way down to the Bosporus. And anybody that came across that line, whether he was German or Mennonite, Jews for that matter, anybody in Europe could not go across that line without being deloused, because they wanted to keep lice out of Europe, because lice were so dangerous to public health.
That's right. So that was
don't
the
feel
first...
badly, you know, you got that picked on because we were Mennonites, or Lutherans.
Or the same for the cutting of hair. I mean, we were all shorn bald in order to stop the lice, the louse problem that we had. Everybody had lice in the war. You know, I mean, this was just common knowledge that everybody had lice, and then of course we had to be deloused and put into Germany.
So Jews cannot claim unique victim status?
No, they cannot. And when I hear the stories about them losing their hair, big deal. None of us had hair.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, this stuff is stacking up against them, and I have a problem not believing it, because I'm watching a genocide. I'm watching Trump shake this motherfucker's hand. It's absolutely disgusting. Trump's the one that made Israel the capital, and it wasn't supposed to be done. Like, I think these people are just evil. I think they're just an evil entity. I think we're shaking hands with the wrong people, and I don't care if I'm not supposed to say this stuff, because it's absolutely grotesque. But I also think that the lying about history and the cover-up of certain things to make things seem as they were supposed to be, but they weren't. Think about it. Who is history written by, everybody? The winners. Why was World War I fought side by side with Russia, China, and all the people that are our sworn enemies now? Right? Because it's written by the winners. And if it's written by the winners, then the winners are creating the history. They're making the history. And they are the ones teaching the history. So therefore, it is whatever they say it is, which is like everything else. So am I supposed to sit here and really just blindly believe everything I was told when I was a kid? No, I can't anymore. Because you know what? This seems more real to me than whatever I was told in school. Because now I do believe that I was lied to over and over and over again, and that the history is just what they made it. It's not actually factual. It's not. So I'm hoping that the CEO says something really quick. We're going to play this video, but Pfizer CEO accidentally calls the pharma jabberino a weapon.
High Impact Vlogs channel. Albert Bourla, the CEO of one of the most corrupt organizations known to mankind, Pfizer, describes his VAXX and his pharmaceutical products as weapons before quickly correcting himself. And let me just remind you, this comes from NIH.gov. They say Pfizer has been a habitual offender, persistently engaging in illegal and corrupt marketing practices, bribing physicians, and suppressing adverse trial results. That's how bad Pfizer is. It's resulted in over a $2.5 billion outstanding lawsuit against the company for pharmaceutical malpractice. He says, quote, "The pandemic reminded us when we have these weapons, tools, that we must find ways that they reach all, and not only those that can afford them." Listen to this.
Do you think the pandemic has perhaps it's reminded the world of the power of medicine, the power of science? Has it reminded your industry of its responsibility to the whole world, rather than just those rich countries that are lucky enough to be able to afford great medicines?
I think both are true to a very high degree. I think the world realized the value that a vibrant life sciences sector can bring to society, but also reminded of us when we have these weapons in these tools, we must find ways that they reach all and not only those that they can afford them.
Dude, they know what they did. They know what they did. They don't care what they did. And it's happening. Did you hear about the extremely rare breast cancer that is now rampant in women? Yeah. Why? Why are 60, 80% of all cancers extremely aggressive and out of control? What's changed in the last 5 years, everybody? What's changed? Well, I remember there being a bunch of shots in the beginning and a whole bunch of boosters up until now. And the only thing that is being recorded and spoken about is the amount of cancer and aggressive cancer that is riddled in young Americans, young people across the world, and middle-aged people across the world. It has doubled and or tripled in every country. All doctors are talking about this now. I think they know exactly what they did. And I'm talking about bringing 9 million to 6 million. Or billion, whatever it is. And you know what I'm saying. You've all heard the speech. I played it on here multiple times. This is the end goal. They feel and they are saying that we are the problem. We are the ones that are causing the world to collapse. So they are trying to thin us out. And they did a real good job this time around because a lot of us fell in line. And it's really, really sad and upsetting. What we need to do now is we need to stop with these things. We need to realize what they have done to us, and we need to never accept what they're going to do for us to be a way of helping. It's not a way of helping. It's a way of control. It's a way of getting rid of us. And why? Because all we're doing is utilizing everything that they've given us. And they know that everything that they've designed and built for us is destructive. It's ruining everything. So they just lean on the fact that it's our fault. But it's not. Did you design the car that you drive? Did you design your house and your furnace? No. None of us did. Do you design the toys in the store? Do you paint the rivers in China blue with the amount of toxins and shit that they use in jeans? Did we do any of that? No. The 1% did. Everybody's sitting on top. This AI bubble everybody's worried about bursting only benefits the 1%. So if we keep giving control to the 1%, this is how the 1% is always going to treat us. And I'm sick of being told that I'm the problem. I'm not the problem. The problem is that I only can do with what you've given me. And if that's all I can do, then that's not my fault. That's your fault. This is why I get so upset about the simple fact that, like, we had ways of free power. We had clean energy. We had ways that we could strive and survive, but they demolished all that. And they took it away from us. Because it gave us freedom. It gave us a way to, you know, maybe be happy and enjoy life. And they don't like that. They want us to constantly feel as if we are the problem. We are the ones that have broken the system. We are the ones that are destroying the world. And I'm not going to take it anymore. This shit's crazy, and everybody needs to stop getting these fucking shots. I'm telling you right now, it's terrible. Now, breaking news. World's first international governing body and judicial authority declares mRNA injections biological and technological weapons of mass destruction. Okay, this is being done by the Alliance of Indigenous Nations International Tribunal. They're declaring COVID-19 injections, mRNA injections or mRNA nanoparticle injections, are in fact biological and technological weapons of mass destruction, everybody. So you got a surge in rheumatological syndromes caused by the vaccines. Nestle bows out of incentive to reduce dairy climate impacts. Like, this is another one, you know, where they say the farts from the cattle and this and that. It's just crazy what they're doing to these animals to try and, you know, prove their point. But this is what I'm talking about, everybody. This is craziness. Like I said, I don't really have a problem with vaccinations. I don't have a problem if you don't get any vaccinations for yourself or your kids. I don't have a problem with that. I don't care. I think it's a little crazy. We do have some diseases out there that we've definitely eradicated from vaccines. But at the end of the day, you know, I've watched plenty of docs and stuff on those. And again, the common denominator between eradicating a disease is usually cleanliness, clean environments, and stuff like that really do help. Hygiene is super important to keep a lot of these things away. So herd immunity is another one for a lot of these diseases. So it's not like every disease is uncontrollable. The problem is that we allow them to tell us that the vaccinations that they have made are going to help us. And I don't think they always help us. I mean, the flu shot is always behind. So you're always getting last year's flu shot. So, I mean, what's the point? You don't need protection from last year. You need protection from this year. Well, getting the flu shot is not going to protect you from this from this year. It's going to protect you from last year, which is a flu that doesn't exist anymore. So that's why people who get the flu shot get the flu as well. It doesn't work. So, and now that's an mRNA vaccination. So I would think twice about getting that one done to myself as well today. And if you are in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, go to the doctors and get your shit checked out. Get some blood tests done. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be the best weapon we can use against them is to do our own due diligence and have our doctors test us. You know, it's crazy to me. It's in our hands now. We have to take it out of theirs. Now, here's something I was talking about earlier, the conspiracy theories and all the things, you know, don't listen to us, this and that. This is Jim Breuer. I love this message.
Conspiracy theorists, they're a little kooky, you know, a little bit on the insane in the membrane, got no brain in their thing. They think the earth is flat. They don't believe we landed on the moon. They're a little cuckoo. They're the ones talking about digital ID. Oh, crap, it's here. Okay, well, forget that part. It's here. The UK Prime Minister. Listen to what this guy says.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free-of-charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
Boy, these conspiracy theorists are crazy. Remember when they started telling us about digital ID? Boy, don't listen to these wackadoodles. Don't.
And as you can see, it proves everybody wrong again. We're not conspiracy theorists. We're looking at the facts. We're looking at the documentation. We're looking at the patterns. And the patterns all give you the answer. But for some reason, you don't see it, which is mind-boggling to me. It really is. I don't get it. I don't get it. I just had to go and renew my license today. I already have the smart license or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know. And now they're making it mandatory that everybody has to get this thing. And people are saying to continue getting an old license if you can. I don't think you can. I mean, I literally listened to 7 people in front of me being told that they can't get a regular ID. They tried. And now you have to get the new real ID. That's what it's called. And I just don't know if this is what we want. I just don't. I thought it was. I thought crypto was going to be different. Crypto is more of this way to lock them in and turn us off. So that's got me worried. But I'm telling you right now, everybody, there is no conspiracy theories. It's only a conspiracy theory because they keep telling you that we're crazy. We're not crazy. You will not be able to work unless you join the system in the UK, in Europe. It's here. So I hope the rest of you are ready for it because I don't think this is going to be a good thing for anybody. This is interesting to me because Washington, D.C. Goes by some interesting guidelines. And I really just want to play this video, have him explain it because he's so much better at it than I am.
Ezekiel in the Old Testament and the United States Constitution tell us to build a city 10 miles square? It sure does. And the city of Washington, D.C., it's 10 miles square. That's next on the trumpet. Article 1 of the Constitution says a federal or a national city 10 miles square. Ezekiel chapter 48, verse 8. The next section of the land is to be set apart for special use. It is to be 10 miles wide from the north to the south, and the same length from the east to the west as the sections given to the tribes. The temple will be located in this section. That means 10 miles square. Don't threaten me with a good time. They said they were going to build a temple over there. I happen to know that the Lincoln Memorial is actually a temple. I'll go show you right where it's written, right behind Lincoln's head. But if you situate this map right here and you look due east, which, you know, Christ said that's an abomination to look east and pray east anyway, you'll see right down this line right here. And it's what I want to show you next about how you zoom out of this city and the abominations we have right here. The Lincoln Memorial, it is a temple and it faces due east. He also has a pack of rods right there in his hands, and if you don't turn around and pray in the right direction, they take them. That angel took Ezekiel to the edge of that temple right there, and he said, if you want to see something more disgusting than all these abominations above here, he goes, look at these guys right here. They've got their back to the sanctuary, and they're bowing.
What? So the Lincoln Memorial is a temple, and they're all facing the wrong direction. They have their back to everything, and you're actually not supposed to pray to the east? Dude, religion's so weird. It's so weird. I don't think any of this shit matters, people. I really don't. I don't think it. I mean, are we saying that because is that the way Muslims face when they're praying? I don't know. And if that's true, then, well, it just makes it seem like, you know, each religion within the book said that this religion's better than, or this one's doing it wrong. And so, but Washington, D.C. is 10 miles by 10 miles. It is square. And if Abraham Lincoln's memorial is a temple, then that city was built according to the Bible? Or was it built backwards to honor the devil? Probably leaning towards the devil and Satan, right? But I mean, it's just wild to think about that these things now are happening, and it could be, the symbolism's right there in Washington, D.C. Now, do you know where the 200 fallen angels meet? Well, this guy right here is going to tell us again, because it is very interesting where they meet.
What would you think if I could take you to a place where the 200 fallen angels built a boardroom for them to all meet? It would have to be at the top of a finished pyramid, at the end of a pointed sword, with a phoenix right there into the front yard. And if you clicked inside of it, it would have a round table where they could all meet together, all 200 of them. And if you go right inside the Palace of Peace and Reconciliation, I'm going to show you their boardroom. All 200 delegates meet right here in the top of this finished pyramid. It's one of the only finished pyramids I've ever seen in my life. And if you click on that little mark right there, it's going to take us down inside that hole. And that's what's underneath the Palace of the Peace and Reconciliation, where the 200 fallen angels meet.
What?
That sun shines right through the middle of that table that holds 200 people, and it goes all the way down to the middle of the floor in the basement, which is the amphitheater, and that's where all the people can meet. It says 200 seats for the world's religious meetings. What? Chapter 3 in Enoch 1 tells you that there were 200 fallen angels that descended in that day, and right there it tells you the names of those people, and they were the leaders of 10. I've never heard of anybody even mention this place or a Christian telling me that they went there. Okay, click on the U.S. Embassy in Astana and then zoom down right down the street and you'll see that portal right there. I thought this was super weird, but there's no pictures of it. So if you go across the street and click on that little blue dot right across the river, and then roll that thing around right there, and you're going to see this. Looks like a portal to me.
Whoa. Dude, what was that? What was that in the middle of the water? It's crazy to even say, but do they come through that portal and then go up to the top of that pyramid? And why have I never heard of this place? And we have a functional pyramid? Look, I didn't know about any of this, and I don't know about 200 fallen angels, but I do think there's about 200 elite 1%ers that probably do meet in this place and make a lot of decisions for the rest of us. But this is wild, and what is that portal? I want to know. Let's see. This true story behind Yoda. Check this out, dude. I got some wild ones to run through as well, but this is fun. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if this is true, everybody. Like I said, I don't believe everything that I'm playing for you, but I like to hear it. I like to discuss it because why not? Why not? Because they don't want us to? Exactly.
According to the reference works, there is a little spiritual entity that guides the world of Freemasonry, and they call him Yoda. And in the reference works, you'll see this little creature with the pointed ears, and he's called Yoda. Yoda goes back to Judah, which goes back into British Israel World Freemasonry, going back to the time of the founding of England, and that's why they're today called British. The British, it's a very big difference between being English and British. Brit is Hebrew for contract or a covenant, and ish means man in Hebrew. Therefore, British is the covenant man or man of the new covenant.
So we're talking about Star Wars.
So we're talking about Star Wars. We're talking about
the evil empire.
The Empire Strikes Back. And with the Empire striking back, New York is the Empire State. We're talking about the new empire of New World, America, striking back at Europe in 2 world wars to overthrow the old Roman dynasties in Europe to take over the world. So what?
I mean, everything means something. Could there be that many hidden messages in Star Wars? Is Yoda actually something from the past? Is it exactly what this guy just said? I mean, I don't know if it is, but man, it makes a lot of sense if it's true. It's wild, dude. Like, I believe there is something hidden in all of this. Just like there's something hidden in all of us that gave in and got this done. So check it out.
Let me just say that I looked at the Pfizer vaccine liquid under a microscope, a dark field microscope. And what I saw initially were particles. They were like circles.
I'm going to press pause on that because I don't know what a dark particle microscope is. So I'm going to have to look that up, but interesting, very interesting.
And squares kind of floating around. And I was like, whoa, that's really interesting. And I looked at some older vaccines like measles and flu shots, and I didn't see any of that. And then if you left that liquid sit overnight, what you would see would be like almost like long wires starting to form. And then if you come back a little while later, there were what appears to be, and I'm not saying that's what it is, but it looks like the image of a circuit board, just the vaccine under the microscope. And if you go to an Odyssey channel called Life of the Blood, you'll see some of those images. And I was a bit freaked out by it, and I kind of backed away from it. I was like, I don't even want to get here because this is the kind of thing that could get me killed. Like, I've already had enough death threats. I don't need like the vaccine company coming after me.
If you have not read Suzanne Humphries' Dissolving Illusions, that's one of the most important books to read, hands down. Single most important book to read on this topic. If you never heard her speak or learn from her, then you are likely missing a foundational piece to this entire understanding of this particular intervention, this particular industry, and all of it, right? I've been at conferences that had to increase their security because of who she is and because of the number of people who are on the FBI watch list. And in my opinion, it's a very important part of the history of this intervention, the history of this movement, and the history of this industry. And this is frightening to me. And we all kind of know it, right? We all kind of know that there's this nanoparticle, nanotechnology, this CRISPR technology, all these things that we've heard about, right? And as this will surface, I'm going to start sharing a little bit more of Sabrina Wallace's work that I learned from Chris Crutchfield. There are some things that I honestly don't know enough about. And if you have more information about it, I would love to start to learn, because I think my family in particular is uniquely affected by this particular technology, not because we've gotten any of these things, but because of what is in our ecosystem continually targeting our systems. I believe that they have the technology today. Essentially, they put us all in this matrix and this node, or this interweb, that unfortunately I don't know how to remove ourselves from.
Dude, you and me too. That's how I'm feeling. That's why this has changed so much for me, because this is how I feel almost every single day. I mean, if you're not feeling lied to continuously today, I really want whatever pill you're swallowing, because it's crazy to me that we can even look at our world today and believe anything that they've told us is true. I don't know. Maybe I'm a broken human at this point, but I don't think so. I think I'm a fixed human. I think I finally understand what being able to see what is going on around me without, I guess you could call it the static, has been one of the most enjoyable things that has happened to me over the last 5 years. But we are in some world that was not designed by us. We are supposed to utilize it and use it according to their rules. And when we question anything that they've told us, all they do is make us disappear or shut us up. And that, to me, is enough evidence to say I'm being lied to every single day. This video is chilling, and this is a little bit on social media and what effects it is starting to have or has been having over everybody for quite some time. Snapchat shows suspects laughing as they shoot out car windows at mass homes, everybody. So we are putting ourselves on video just shooting at random people. And I am really worried because if this is what is going to get you the clicks, this is how you're going to get known. This is very, very, very disturbing today. It's very disturbing. So I'm going to play the video and let's see if you guys feel the same.
He's just releasing video of a drive-by shooting in July. 3 people facing charges for this July 5th shooting. They posted this, they say, to social media. Officers discovered damage to a vehicle and 3 homes. They say 1 bullet struck a living room couch. 3 young children, 2 adults were inside that home at the time. Eventually, 2 22-year-olds and a 21-year-old were arrested, each facing firearm assault to murder charges. Excuse me.
The problem I have with this is that it's just like the crate challenge. It's like the milk sliding challenge. It's like the Tide Pod challenge. It's like all these things, okay? Now it's going to Snapchat. Why? Because TikTok sucks. They're not as good as they once were, and once they become fully Americanized, it will be garbage. I've already seen the effects on everything that I've used in the app get affected, and it's just trash now. Snapchat has always been a place for some craziness, sexuality stuff, I think a lot of people try to use this like some weird dating app. I don't know, but there's a lot of sex things on there and naked people, which seems to be the going thing for almost all these platforms. They always lean towards porn at the end of the day. Threads is notorious for it. It's crazy. Which don't get Threads because you can never get rid of it. Once it threads into all the rest of your shit, you are stuck with it forever. You have to delete your entire accounts in order to remove it. You would have to kill your Instagram, Facebook, and Threads all at the same time in order for you to just remove Threads, which is why I haven't installed it. It literally threads itself in and cannot be removed. It's crazy. Maybe that's why they called it that. But this is just chilling. It's disturbing that people are going to get clicks for just randomly firing guns out of car windows. Like, this is terrible. There was people in a house. It hit a couch. Like, what the fuck is going through these kids' mind when they're just... I'm not saying that video games have made it this way. What I'm saying is I think people think of real life like a video game now, and I think that's where the fabric of reality is getting torn. And when these guys get arrested, they have been arrested, however long ago this happened, I'm not sure, but they're going to have to face a really, really hard reality that, guess what? The bullet holes in those walls don't just go away. It's not just a map, you idiots. These are real people, real lives, and real things that you have brought destruction and fear to. And I don't know if they're ever going to understand that, even sitting in the courtroom and being told that what you just did almost killed people. And I just don't think that is going to click for a lot of this younger generation that treats video games like real life. And I think that has been by design, because of the simple fact that they want you to plug in always. So if it feels real, then they can get you to plug in and hopefully stay in. But unfortunately, we still have the capability of unplugging And then we have to go back out into reality. And I think these kids are a little broken from spending, I've heard people playing 72 hours straight on some of these video games, which is insane, everybody. It's insane. I'm not against video games per se. My parents always told me that if you can't get paid from it, you can't do it. Well, you couldn't get paid from video games back then. So video games kind of fell off for me. I think the last one I touched was a PlayStation 2. Scarface was the game I played. I loved it. But I knew the difference between playing that video game and firing a gun off, because I did that too. Luckily, I was not pointing at the person I wanted to shoot. But yeah, I mean, I have definitely fired a gun off into public, and it was probably about an hour or two when I realized that luckily those bullets went into a construction zone and literally harmed nobody. So you do have to come back from your imagination and be smacked with reality. And I just hope it works for these guys, because this is the clout people are chasing. I mean, watch this video. You're going to see it right here. See it? Kid set himself on fire. He was an 18-year-old. He was extremely injured by this. And if you find this video to be sensitive, I just think you are a fucking sensitive person. Get out of here. This is not sensitive, dude. Like, I don't even believe that exists today because of the amount of shit these kids have seen on the internet. It's just impossible. Instagram is loaded with stuff, but now they're going to be PG-13. Hey, you should have been PG-13 a long time ago, you dumb shits. I just don't understand. People should not be giving their kids cell phones. I've said this over and over again. They are literally saying that they should not have any phone that can link to the internet before they are 16 now. Good luck, because peer pressure from their peers is going to be a bitch for the parents and adults at home. Because I'm already seeing it. You know, a kid, 8 or 9, has a phone in a household, and the other kids want it, you know, but you got 2 different parents. You say no, and they go, well, why can they have one? And it's very simple. Their parents allowed it. I'm your parent, and I'm not allowing it. So I stand behind the parents that are not allowing it anymore. I'm telling you, this is a very serious message right here. No child under the age of 16 should have a phone that connects to the internet. All right? This is being spouted by doctors, physicians, and people with much, much more education and a lot more deep diving into what this is doing to the children today. And I'm telling you, I've been against this for a long time, and they are literally putting an age on it now. 16. So I found this one to be interesting. So runner's high is supposedly THC. Let's check it out.
All my professors said that runner's high is endorphins, but Harvard's 2023 study just proved it's actually 80% endocannabinoids, your body's own THC. We've been wrong about exercise benefits for 40 years. They measured both substances during exercise. Endorphins can't cross the blood-brain barrier. They're too large. But anandamide, your internal cannabis, increased by 280% after 30 minutes of moderate cardio and crosses directly into your brain. The high is literal. Here's the precise finding. 22 minutes of exercise at 70% max heart rate optimizes endocannabinoid production. Not 20 minutes, not 25, exactly 22 minutes produces peak anandamide. Below 70% heart rate, 40% less production. Above 80%, stress hormones cancel the benefits. This explains why exercise treats depression better than SSRIs in mild cases. We thought it was serotonin from endorphins. It's actually your brain's cannabis system activating. Different mechanism, different optimization strategy. This exercise precision connects to my nervous system recovery protocol. Subscriber videos linked right here, because the exact dose matters.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool, everybody. This is Kyle Inspires1. You can go follow him on Instagram and stuff. Pretty cool. Imagine that. I mean, the cannabinoids attached to all of those molecules, the way that it works with our system, it's flawless. It's seamless. And maybe runner's high is actually THC. That would explain why when I'm at jiu-jitsu and we are just like going at it at the end of class, I feel extremely euphoric. And it's not just because I smoked before class. It's obviously more than that, but I thought it was just the effects of the THC and the heavy workout. But I guess all of that combined, plus with my natural THC components activating and doing all that exercise, I'm actually getting what they call the runner's high. And if it is actually THC, it would make more sense as to why I feel like I doubled or tripled my intake by the end of class. It's pretty interesting. I don't know if it's 100% yet, but people are digging into this. It is becoming a major study. Now, deplorable Gentile. The day mankind finds out what I was trying to defend this nation from, then that's the day World War III will start. Interesting stuff here. Interesting stuff. Let's listen.
So Hitler said even in his death he would start World War III. One of his soldiers asked how. Hitler replied, the day mankind finds out what I was trying to defend this nation from, then that's the day World War III will start. For on that day mankind will learn that I was trying to save my nation from the Freemasons, the Illuminati, the Jews. For if Americans win the war, then they will conquer the world and forever be a slave to the Jews. And they will try to conquer God. That's accurate. That's exactly what happened.
Dude, and I just realized that was Kanye West. That was actually one of the clips from that video that they released. And it was just before his Alex Jones episode, I do believe. And look, man, did I not just say that in the beginning of this? Have I not been saying this for weeks? Look at this, man. Now I'm starting to understand why Kanye said he loves Hitler. Because he truthfully believes that he was defending us from the Illuminati, the Jews, and all of these other entities that want to corrupt and control. And we are playing into their hands. And if we help Israel win, we are setting ourselves up for our own demise. I feel like this is the closest to the truth we are ever going to get. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow after all the stuff we've been told our entire lives. And for me, this is a little bit easier of a pill to swallow today than it was 3-4 years ago, everybody. If you're looking, listening, and digging yourself, it's really not hard to understand that we have been lied to over and over again, right? It's not hard to figure it out. Now, this is Joey Pepperoni, and we are going to be listening. We're going to be taking a look into this blue beam because they're really pushing it right now. That supposedly, is it 3I/Atlas or something? Is this thing that is going to be breaking through, coming into our solar system? Have you heard about this? The 3I/Atlas? No? You haven't heard of it? Well, that's fine. It's out there. It's breaking through. And supposedly in 50 some odd days, it's supposed to be above us. And it's going to be a problem because it's aliens coming to take us over. Do you really think aliens give a fuck about us at all? If the aliens cared about us, they'd probably show up and do something about what we're doing. I don't think, just like God would allow us to destroy ourselves, but since we are going to eventually destroy ourselves, then to me, aliens and God are one and the same. And of course, it's just whatever. It's a joke. But let's check this out. Let's see what's going on here, because I believe in Bluebeam.
Can you just fast forward to the end?
Project Bluebeam. Let me break down the steps for you so that you know where we're at. This is the pre-step, stage 0, the setup. Before they roll out the actual show, they need a blackout. They gotta kill the lights, crash the grid, break the rhythm of daily life. They're already blaming Iran, saying they're gonna cause a blackout.
Iranian cyber attacks targeting the US homeland. These could include disruptions to banking systems and widespread blackouts. Knight believes Iranian operatives may have already embedded malware within critical American infrastructure.
But that's just cover for the parasites. Step 1 is the fake discoveries. The archaeology, sudden discoveries of ancient text, alien relics, or evidence that all religion is fake. Right now, they're picking up mysterious signals under Antarctica. That's not a coincidence. It's step 1 in motion. Step 2 is the sky gods. They're gonna turn the sky into a screen. Holograms of deities are gonna appear worldwide. Each culture is gonna see their own. Then boom, they all merge into one savior. Not a miracle, a scripted broadcast. Step 3, a voice in your head. They're gonna whisper in your mind. Voice to skull technology. You'll hear God speaking to you, but it won't be divine. Step 4, the fake apocalypse, the fake alien invasion, supernatural events, cities in fear. And just when you're broken, they offer the solution. One world government, one fake religion, total control. They've been desensitizing you for years. Aliens, UFOs, Antarctica mysteries. They primed your brain with movies and fake leaks. Now they're flipping the switch. And the whole Bluebeam script is queued up. Don't fall for the light show. The real war is for your mind.
Whole purpose is to create sort of a global militarized totalitarian superstate of the world fighting another world. It's like War of the Worlds.
There it is, everybody. I'm telling you, man. Have you heard about 3i Atlas? I'm telling you, this shit is wild. They're gonna do something. They need it. They need it to happen. They need to get us to stop. And I didn't realize that finding the ancient artifacts underneath the pyramid and stuff was to sidetrack us into believing religion is not real. Actually, I thought that was the opposite. It was making me feel like religion was more real. And it also showed me that there was ways that we had energy without cost, which blew my mind and made me really mad about paying for electricity. So if those things have been sent in here to diminish religious beliefs, I mean, you can't diminish mine more than it already is. But I didn't think that was the plot behind all of those hidden artifacts and the finding of ancient ruins. I thought of it more as a tall tale that we were being lied to, and we all had access to things that they say we have to pay for. So that part of it I don't really agree with too much, nor do I care if they change my religion. But the rest of it, man, be on the lookout, because the day that they have the solution is the day we all lose. They don't have a solution. They made the problem. Therefore, their solution seems like the fix. If you cause the problem, you are the problem. So stop listening to them when they tell us we are the problem. We are not the problem. We're the problem solvers, and they hate us for it. Now check this out, man. We're going into some 9/11 stuff, and this video is wild. Helicopter view proves no plane hit the Pentagon that day. Now watch this video, everybody.
Wow. Okay, so you get the picture? Get a picture right there?
up to infrared because the smoke isn't bothering the infrared, okay? We want to just back off, take a look at the impact area, see what areas are hot.
Okay, well, there it is, man. I'm telling you. Where's the plane, bud? There's no plane. It's one of the biggest cover-ups ever. All we know is that we were told it was a plane and that it hit the exact spot where all the documents were for all that missing money. So you tell me, conspiracy or that much closer to the truth? Because I'll tell you, man, 9/11 used to get shot down a ton. But here is a breakdown of what could have possibly been the deep root cause of all of this.
The official 9/11 narrative is that brown people are geniuses now, who coordinated the most sophisticated terror campaign ever before seen that bypassed the world's biggest defense budget and then was never able to even remotely replicate anything like it again. Honestly, I'm just impressed that people from the hidden sand village could fly airplanes at all, let alone Steph Curry half-court no-scope them into 3 really important buildings with perfect aim. That is a 9/11 miracle, and it turns out there's a lot of miracle work going on with 9/11. So let's first start with God's chosen miracle, the one. A month and a half before 9/11, this guy becomes the new owner of the Twin Towers after signing a 99-year lease for $3.2 billion. You might be thinking to yourself, wow, this guy looks very honest and trustworthy. His name is Larry Silverstein. You can't make this up. Larry did what any responsible would do after buying anything. He finagled a never-before-seen insurance policy that covered the towers for double their value. His policy request was so fucking retarded that the broker had to bring together 25 different insurance lenders to give him what he asked for, making him one of the first people in American history to get terrorism insurance on a commercial building. And as we know, days later, Kamar and Pajit Allahu Alley-oop slam dunk 2 planes into the towers, reducing Larry's multi-billion-dollar investment into a pile of rubble and the biggest insurance payout in the history of the world. Sadly, Larry couldn't make it to work on 9/11 and unfortunately is still alive to this day,
roaming the earth, waiting for Satan to reclaim his soul back to the underworld.
But trust me, it's not just rich that God blesses miracles with. The government gets its fair share as well. September 10th, the day before 9/11, retards at the Pentagon announced $2.7 trillion in missing funds, only to have a Tuscan raider park a Boeing 757 directly in their accounting department the next day, 32 minutes after the second tower was hit 225 miles away. 3 buildings hit in less than an hour? Now that's a 9/11 miracle, baby. Building 7, the Twin Towers' cute little lolly sister, located 1,600 feet away from the impact site, quietly fell straight into the ground 7 hours after the Twin Towers. The news and the people that run it blamed a small office fire, but every single structural engineer ever calls that impossible.
That's what the physics shows.
Saying it was a controlled demolition.
A perfect controlled demolition of an intact building.
It is too bad engineers don't believe in miracles. Total miracle death. Now, I still have some questions, and they're questions that miracles can't quite answer. Why did Leslie Robertson, lead engineer for the Twin Towers, say that she literally designed them to withstand the impact of a Boeing 707 airplane? Until 9/11, no steel structure in history has ever collapsed due to a fire. So how did it happen 3 times in a row in one day? Why did hundreds of survivors report explosions?
There was a heavy-duty explosion
inside the lobby.
It was this big explosion.
Continuous explosions.
Floor by floor. Yeah, detonated. Planned to take down a building. Boom, boom, boom.
Why did 3 of the plane hijackers have a U.S. Naval Air Station military base as their primary address of residence on their driver's license? Why did NIST admit they deliberately avoided searching for explosive residues in their official investigation? Why did a dozen independent researchers find thermite and explosive materials at Ground Zero? Why is it okay for this to do whiteface, but when I do blackface, it becomes this huge problem all of a sudden? Who is E-Team, and why were they a group of Israeli artists living in the towers with unrestricted access leading up to 9/11? Speaking of which, who are the dancing Israelis, and why were they jailed and deported for filming and celebrating the towers collapsing?
Here were revealed as Mossad assets who were arrested after cheering and high-fiving and videotaping the crash of the airplanes into the World Trade Towers.
Why did thousands of the world's top engineers and architects form an entire organization to challenge the official 9/11 lies and narrative?
Dude, you can't make this stuff up, and I'm so glad he brought almost everything together at that point. that is a great collaboration of like all the videos I played over the last 3-4 months. Absolutely well done. Great job. And if you want to follow, this is Brandon Taylor Moore on X, everybody. So go and check him out. Great videos. I mean, 2.3 trillion disappeared. That guy bought the towers and then took out one of the biggest insurance claims on it. And then 2 days later had a payout of the biggest payout ever done through an insurance company. Come on, people. You actually still believe that these 4 brown people were capable of pulling off this? After you find out that when we went over there, we took control of poppy fields, we took control of the Nephilim, we stopped archaeological digs. This was a full takeover so that we could absolutely 100% keep our narrative where it belongs and take control of the drug trade. It's never been a drug war. It's been a war on us for their drug control. That is nothing more. Have you ever wanted to see a crop field circle? I have. Supposedly, this one was captured on one of those field cameras. Check this out, dude. It's so neat. Man catches footage of crop circle on his security camera. Now, most people, I guess he might be watching his field, but I thought this was like a deer camera. But watch this, dude. Now, of course, I just said that I can make an AI video of a picture that is still. I can tell it to do this. I did have it make my wife dance, even though she was not moving in that picture. So how hard would it be to say that I want to make an actual live crop circle? I don't think it's that difficult, but the footage is very grainy, and it all looks as if nothing is being done digitally to this film. But is it possible for AI to keep the quality of the film intact and still add its features? That I don't know, because the picture that I had it manipulate for me was actually taken in portrait mode on my camera. So therefore, it is literally the best quality picture that you can have from a phone. And it manipulated that picture, and there was no change to anything in that picture. So is it possible for it to also do that to a granulated picture and keep it granulated like that? I don't know if that is true. I got to take a quick break. Oos, I am back, everybody, and let's get into this. All right, so this is Flat Out Truth on X, and they've been putting human into the burgers for decades. They even told you straight to your face. Now, this is the claim against McDonald's. I don't know how much this is true, but I will tell you that this food is garbage. I don't believe it's real meat, but I'm also having a little bit of trouble believing that it's human meat too. But man, is it fun. It is fun. Watch this creepy old ad, man.
McDonald's hamburgers? And some French fries? Don't they look delicious? And some triple thick McDonald's shakes? Oh. Well, we can always make good use of that. Ah, here they are. Triple thick McDonald's shakes. Why, they're empty. Say, you sure can get a lot in these bags, can't you?
Order in the court. Your Honor, the accused hamburglar was caught red-handed, sneaking off with a big bag full of McDonald's delicious cheeseburgers. That's serious.
My nephew was in that bag. My nephew was in that bag.
said McDonald's hamburger's delicious?
Mom told me never to talk to strangers.
Well, your brother's right as always, but...
Just so you're aware, and if you're only listening, this is the first Ronald in 1960 gaining trust with a kid. It's so creepy.
I'm Ronald McDonald. Give me a McDonald's shake.
Well, you sound like Ronald.
Here, I'll prove it. I'll give you 3 more hamburgers. I know, you're not supposed to accept gifts from strangers either.
But you're no stranger. You really are Ronald McDonald.
He's Ronald McDonald, the hamburger happy clown. A McDonald's drive-in restaurant is his favorite place in town.
Is that not creepy as fuck, everybody? It's so creepy. Go and find the original 1960 ad for Ronald McDonald. That's it. They literally used the thing that parents were telling kids not to do. They were doing it in the ad to get them to come to McDonald's. It's so disturbing. You know what else I find disturbing, though? Ice cream trucks. I think they're very creepy. Keep your kids away. I'm telling you. Now, let's have some fun. Have you heard of the real life Barbie? No? Well, here you go.
This is the real life Barbie. She wasn't plastic. She was colder. In 1961, Barbara Lane was 24, a failed model with a flawless smile. She called herself an expert in transformation. Her first finishing academy opened in Los Angeles. They promised beauty, confidence, love, and for the right price, a new face. Hundreds came, teachers, secretaries, housewives, all desperate to be seen. They signed contracts they never read. They posed for photographs before the surgeries. They handed over savings, identities, trust. And when it was done, they recovered, looking almost the same. Their faces subtly altered, but eerily similar, just a little more hollow. Barbara didn't just want to change them. She wanted to own them. Every woman became part of her marketing. Faces on billboards, names in testimonials. But over time, the surgeries started to wear. Scars formed, smiles stiffened. And when they complained, she blamed them for failing to maintain perfection. If they persisted, she sued them for defamation. When investigators came, she smiled for the cameras. Because in the end, she'd already won. The perfect woman they envied wasn't a victim. She was the predator.
What? Dude, that's so wild. She changed everybody to look like her? That's so crazy. So she was like, whew, she was a little psycho, huh? That is crazy. Now, again, a lot of these, where they came from or the morbid stories or the dark side of things have been disproven. Some of them are AI generated. I did not look into the Barbie one per se, but I did look into our next one. And this is the real Ken doll. Now, this is 100% real. It's very creepy, but of course, if you got Barbie, you gotta have Ken, and here you go.
There was a man, and that man killed 6 women. California, 1957. His name was Kenneth Hansen. Handsome, elegant, always smiling, the model neighbor. He lived in a small suburban house with his wife Barbara, a quiet couple, always coordinated, always polite. Even the garden looked perfect. Over time, women in their circle began to disappear. A neighbor, a co-worker, one of Barbara's friends. No sounds, no struggle, just gone. Barbara said Kenneth stared at her at night, studied her, never blinked. He spent hours in the basement, but no one believed her. Then Barbara disappeared. Kenneth said she left without a word. He kept mowing the lawn, smiling, as if nothing happened. 3 years later, another woman vanished. She was last seen entering Kenneth's house. This time, police got a warrant. In the basement, behind a false wall, they found 6 bodies, including Barbara. He didn't resist, just smiled, impeccable. He was sentenced to life. Years later, a toy company launched a new doll, smooth, clean cut, flawless. His name was Ken. In a designer's notes, they found one line, inspiration, Kenneth H. impeccable look, American ideal.
Dude, I don't know if the Ken doll was actually made after that Ken H guy, but I will tell you this much, that Kenneth Hansen really did kill 6 people, and those were all of his victims. And it was within his family, within his wife's circle, and his wife was one of the bodies that they found. So that is 100% true. And the guy was really good looking as well. So I would have to say that maybe the coincidence is not real, and it was the Ken doll that was modeled after Ken Hansen, which is a murderer. Isn't that great to find out? I think it's so much fun. These things that we think are so innocent and supposed to bring positivity and light, which I don't think Barbie does anymore. I think it made millions of women really sick and sad about themselves personally. Same with modeling. Anything that makes you feel bad about your body, that's what it does to you. But to find out that the Ken doll was based off of a murderer, pretty interesting. And, you know, it's kind of fitting for the end of October, you know? So I do hope, you know, everybody enjoyed. And, of course, as always, I just always want to say thank you. Do remember when trick-or-treating and doing your things out there, be safe, all right? Enjoy your Halloween. I hope you enjoyed some of the creepiness and stuff going on this episode for all of you. And then, of course, I just want to, again, thank all of my subscribers out there. You're the reason I keep coming back week after week. If you're new, remember to hit that subscribe. Of course, don't forget about the email, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's the official email of the podcast. Send an audio, video, or type it out. Linktree is in the description below the video. Go ahead and click that. It gives you everything TWT. Don't forget to check out Cryptid and Kin on YouTube and Instagram, Facebook, and, of course, the Mailbox Guys on Instagram and Facebook. Go check them out. Order a new mailbox today. And with that all being said, everybody, so I hope everybody out there enjoys your Thursday. Have a happy and safe Halloween tomorrow. And, of course, as always, I will talk to you next week.